Welcome to my first episode in this series, which is going to be a very different style to what I usually do. I am just going to be riffing here, which is like the jazz equivalent of channeling. And I haven't really come up with a specific topic that I want to talk about to allow space for something to come through, which needs to come through in this moment. Obviously, what's most on my mind right now is the current training that I have been channeling and developing, which is called the God in Every Goddess, which is specifically for women to own the totality of your power by integrating the sacred masculine and feminine into a divine union. I've already made another video about this, so I'm not going to go too deep into that. One of the topics that's been very prominent in this space in my mind is about how one cannot be complete without the other. How we keep rejecting one side of us and want to only be the other side, thinking that that is what is complete, that is who we are. But until you own the totality of yourself, you will always remain incomplete. This goes with light and dark, light and shadow. It goes with masculine and feminine. It goes with any polarities are incarnations of the absolute. Until we understand that, we cannot become the absolute. We cannot become our whole self. You are not just a divine feminine, a divine goddess that has no masculine aspect at all. You're not just a divine masculine or a powerful man who has no feminine aspect at all. If you only identify with that aspect of yourself, you become polarized and you put one part of yourself completely in the shadow. And when it remains in the shadow, it's not like it disappears. You have to firstly use a lot of energy to keep it in the shadow, to keep it from showing, to keep it from coming into your conscious awareness. And it will still show up. It will show up in ways that you do not even realize, you do not even understand. It will show up in ways that can look like self-sabotage, that can look like aggression that's completely unintentional, acting out, outbursts, losing control, or creating unintended consequences repeatedly when you keep wanting the opposite of that. You want a healthy relationship and you keep attracting a toxic partner. You want wealth, but you keep losing money. You want success in your business. You want clients, but every time you put something out, nobody listens to you. Or they listen to you, but they don't sign up. What is missing? What is happening? Is that nothing is really missing other than you owning the whole of you and showing up with the whole of you. There are beliefs planted in us, right? I would say even before we are born. They're coming from us ancestrally, genetically. They're planted in our DNA, these beliefs, these habits, these conditioning. That only certain parts of us will be loved and accepted. If we show up with this, we will get what we want. This is the belief. But it's a belief that comes with a shadow, because it doesn't actually give you what you want. It tells you that you will get it if you show up this way, but what you end up getting is the opposite. What it is not telling you, what it is keeping you from realizing and seeing the reality, is that you only get what you want when you show up as your full self. When you're truly aligned with your full self and honor your full self. Because guess what? If you keep rejecting parts of you, if you dishonor yourself to please others, to show up in a way that you think others will love you and accept you, or respect you and validate you, or celebrate you, or promote you, or pay you, if you do all of that for others at the cost of yourself, you do not respect yourself, you do not love yourself, you cannot validate yourself, you cannot accept yourself. How can you expect anyone else other than the mirror of you to match you? The people who will match you are in the same energy. If you are in lack, they are in lack, so they won't pay you. If you are immature, they are immature, so you will have constant drama that's coming from toxic places. If you are insecure, they are insecure, so they cannot provide you with safety, they cannot be trusted. But can you be trusted? Are you showing up as someone who can be trusted? How can you be trusted if you do not even show your full self? If you do not even know your full self, do you even trust yourself fully? It's only when you come into the totality of yourself, which is not just knowing yourself, it's accepting yourself, embracing yourself, celebrating yourself, and coming into that radiance of your totality. It's only when you operate from there, you become a match to everything that you're seeking, because you have found it within yourself. But it's important to remember that is not enough just within yourself, because then that is what creates another shadow. It creates another spiritual bypass that, oh, everything I have is within me. No, there is you and the other. First you find the other within you, and then you find the other outside you, the match, because we live in relation. We live in relation to ourselves, and we live in relation to the other. The whole game is to keep growing. Grow within yourself, you grow in the world. You meet more people who are matching you and mirroring you in your wholeness, in your totality. The game doesn't end in isolation. That is the saddest thing possible. This is a completely outdated concept of spirituality, which is also very self-denying, world-denying, and life-denying. What is the point of an enlightenment which tells you that this world is fake, it's false, and you should reject it, and you should reject the concept of self, and you should just abandon everything and basically go die in such a permanent way that you do not even reincarnate, because this world is bad, reincarnation is bad, it's all an illusion, it's so lifetime. That is not spiritual in my experience. That is the opposite of spirituality. That is life affirming, that is self-affirming, that is world affirming. The world is not a bad place, it's not an evil place. That's again the whole narrative that we have created around the world. The self is not bad, the ego is not bad. It's the demonization of all of these things that has made us even more toxic, that has separated us and disconnected from ourselves and the world and life more and more and more. The more we keep creating this rejection, this separation, it just keeps growing. The only way forward, the only way through, where you truly start living, because in my experience, I only started living when I came into my wholeness. Up until then was the journey of becoming whole, of becoming complete. The problem was I did not even know I was on that journey. So I was lost, and it was just taking me forever because I was digging around, thinking that the next thing will complete me, the next thing will complete me. But I was always looking at something outside myself without realizing I am already whole. That is the first journey I take people on, is wholeness, is completion. And it's ridiculously easy and fast once you know the basics, the fundamentals, that The wholeness is already present. What needs to be shed are the ideas that keep you from that wholeness. And that needs to be practiced and integrated. And once you do that for some time, your self-worth just goes infinitely through the roof. You feel your absolute self-worth and you stop criticizing yourself unnecessarily. You stop judging yourself. You stop doubting yourself. You just come into your genuine confidence, which is rooted in knowing your power and your value. So that's the first journey I take people on. And there is where you experience deep contentment, satisfaction, fulfillment. And here is where a major prophecy breaks. Because just yesterday, I heard someone saying, I feel content. And then they immediately cancel themselves. No. It's not contentment because I still want to keep going. And there is this deep-rooted, completely ridiculous belief and idea that contentment is what we experience at the end. And when you are content, you don't want anything more from life, and it's the end. You're in nirvana and you can become the Buddha and disappear and reject yourself and reject the world and just go into this permanent oblivion. That is the absolute opposite of true, genuine contentment, because that's where life begins. Is when you feel whole, you feel fulfilled. You feel fully filled of yourself. You are full of yourself. Another term which has got a very negative connotation. People use it in a derogatory way. You are so full of yourself. Who the hell else do you want to be full of? I am full of myself and I'm damn grateful for it. It took me years to become full of myself and empty myself of all the shit that others had put in me. It's when you become full of yourself, that is when you truly start living as you. Up until then, you've been living as someone else. You've been living someone else's life, someone else's story. Many other people's lives and stories. Your journey, your life really begins when you become complete in you. When you become full of you. When you become whole. And from there starts the journey of infinite expansion. A journey where you keep growing your contentment, your fulfillment, your wholeness. It's like you can imagine that you have a container which is full and you grow to a certain point where this container breaks, but outside that is another container which you start filling with yourself. And outside of that is yet another container and yet another container. It's like those Russian dolls, one within the other, infinitely. But you are at the center of it and you just keep growing bigger and bigger. It's the opposite of Russian dolls. You're not going in. You're going out. And you're growing into bigger and bigger versions of yourself. Where you become more and more fulfilled with life. Where you experience greater satisfaction, greater contentment. More of you. Each higher level of yourself. That is your highest self. Your highest self is the one who keeps growing more and more and more. It's not an ultimate form in which you stop growing. It's that you which is whole, which grows into higher and higher selves. This is why I use the concept of higher self and highest self. It's to make people understand that your highest is where you begin. It's not where you end. Fulfillment, contentment, satisfaction is where you begin, not where you end. That's where the infinite journey begins. We have all of these ideas of endings and endings and endings, where we have goals which we don't actually want to get to because we believe that the story is going to end there. Why would anyone want fulfillment if that is what happens at the end? It means you've become old. It means you're about to die. It means the end of life. That old definition of fulfillment is the end of life. Who the hell wants that if it's sold to you that way? That's what you will experience when you have completed your life's mission and your life's work. No, it's what you experience every single moment, that you're living your purpose, that you're fulfilling your desire, not only at the fulfillment of the desire. You experience while you're fulfilling the desire, your fulfillment is growing. This is the switch, is that you start before completion. You are at a place where you are empty and you're trying to fill a void, and you cannot fill it with all the things that you're trying to fill, because what you're trying to fill is already full. You are already whole. You're trying to fill a container which is not even you. It's like you are whole, you've been given a container with holes and been told that you have to fill this container, but that's not even you. You are already whole. Once you get that, then fulfillment is about growing into bigger containers of yourself infinitely. Truly, that journey doesn't end. No matter how much you do, how much you grow, life keeps growing. Even science is arriving at the point of finding out that the universe doesn't eventually end. That there is something which keeps it infinitely growing for billions and billions and trillions and zillions of years. This is life. It keeps going. How? We don't even need to understand. That is the mystery. That is the divine. That's the sacred. That's what we tap into to keep life going, to keep enjoying life, to keep feeling fulfillment and contentment and satisfaction. If you start wasting your time trying to figure out how life works, you're not actually living life. The point of life, the real purpose of life, the deepest purpose of life, in my experience, in my enlightenment, what I experienced, is live. That was the only answer I kept getting. When I was asking, why are we here? What is the purpose of all of this? Live. Like, what more do you want? Why do you even need a greater purpose? You are alive. You get to experience being alive. What more do you need? Do whatever you want with it. Live fully as you. What's more powerful and beautiful than that? What's more purposeful than just living because you are alive? Why do we need to complicate it and make it mean something so much bigger? Yeah, you can. You can add meaning to it, but at the root of it, first live. First fully live. First fully be alive. First fully be you. And then do whatever more you want as your purpose. Transform the world, evolve the world, heal the world. All of that is great. But first live. Learn to enjoy living first. Then whatever else you do, you transmit that energy into what you do. A lot of people who go on these missions to save the world go from a place of feeling completely empty. They're trying to feel value. They're trying to feel something. They're trying to feel alive. They're trying to feel needed. They're trying to feel respected, seen, wanted, desired. That is what they really want under that mask of serving the world. Not everyone, because there are beings who truly come from a place of wholeness and then they give themselves fully and receive fully, and it's beautiful and it's powerful, and it's truly in the presence of those beings you can experience the energy that is being transmitted is so alive. They are transmitting life fully. And then there are the other people who are completely doing it for their own ego, to feed that emptiness within themselves. It's not, I will reframe that. It's not emptiness within themselves. It's the idea of emptiness that they have been given. They're trying to feed that. It's a ghost. It's not even real. You're trying to feed something which will never be full. Only when you come from your wholeness can you truly fulfill your soul's purpose, your mission, and have the impact that you want to have, and actually enjoy doing it. It doesn't come from this place of suffering and heaviness, seeing the world as a dark place, as a bad place that needs saving. You see life as beautiful, and that is what you transmit, and that is how you change the world. By transmitting that energy, by making people connect to that energy and come to life, and actually come into the beauty of life, the joy of life. You have already saved the world when you have done that. For one person, you saved them already. You're not going to save them by throwing money at it, by making them feel that you care because you sacrificed your job or you have put all your earnings into saving people or this or that or whatever. All of these gestures will only have a real impact when you make people feel alive, whole, as real people. Because most of these people that are trying to save other people end up reducing those that they're trying to save into victims. They see them as powerless. They see them as broken. And if you go to people with that attitude, what are you doing? You're reaffirming a story that they are broken. You're not making them feel alive and feel great and feel powerful and joyful. You're basically telling them, poor you, you're so miserable, let me save you because I'm so great. Or I feel so sorry for you. I feel so guilty for my privilege, so let me save you. Let me feel better about myself by making you feel better. It's truly miserable, and it's not even intentional. It's so unconscious. It just keeps having the reverse effect of what people want. When people truly learn to connect to that joy and transmit that, most of the work is done. Then you use your resources to help people in whatever way, and it just becomes more powerful and more beautiful and more impactful. But you're transmitting life through whatever energy you're sending. So if you're sending money, you're sending help, you're bringing people together, you're sending resources, you're building things for people. If it is done with joy, with life, with love, you're creating more of that energy. You're amplifying more of that energy. But if you're creating from lack, from scarcity, from fear, from guilt, from pain, that's what you're amplifying. And that's what the people experience, consciously or unconsciously, is how we keep perpetuating cycles, drama cycles, trauma cycles. The way out is to embrace life fully, to embrace joy fully, to embrace love fully. So I invite you, because this is now my mission. For years, for a decade, I was struggling to feel whole. Or let's say for 8 years of my journey, I was struggling to feel whole. But in the last 2 years, suddenly this clicked. All those old models fell away, and it became super clear what I'm meant to experience. And the moment I started practicing that, it was months. Within months, everything clicked, and I started feeling real joy. I started trusting in myself. I started feeling my self-worth. I started feeling my confidence. I stopped depending on others to validate me. And that is when I started becoming more magnetic and started receiving everything I'd been seeking out of neediness the whole time. Without even wanting it, without needing it, I started receiving it. And I was able to receive it finally and fully, and amplify myself more and grow more and radiate more. Earlier, when I was seeking it out of neediness, I would seek it from the wrong people who would never give it to me. And if someone did end up giving it to me, if by mistake I found the person who would give me exactly what I wanted, I would immediately shut them out, cancel them, even attack them. And I've seen this happening with the 1,000+ people that I've worked with. We all have these patterns. What we seek out of emptiness, we don't actually want it. What we want to do is keep feeding the emptiness. We are addicted to that suffering, to that emptiness. So if someone comes and gives us the real medicine, we immediately say no. We only want the medicine which keeps, or rather, you want the poison which keeps the suffering going. All of that turned for me within months when I got the codes, and when I started teaching them, the results were similar. Phenomenally quick transformations. Once people understood exactly what needs to be embodied, what needs to be embraced, how to come from this place. And then magic keeps happening. It just keeps happening. Life becomes joyful, satisfying, fulfilling. You start impacting people. You start connecting with people you could not imagine existed. You start seeing them, even if they've been in your sphere, you may not have been recognizing them. You may not have been able to connect with them. Suddenly these people are like, what? This person is so amazing. Why have I not spent more time with them? New people start appearing. People who are not ready to upgrade and evolve tune out of your life. But the new people who appear are suddenly like, what? Such people exist? But they're saying the same thing about you. Wow, you're so magical. Wow, I cannot believe that I've met someone who's so loving, who's so caring, who's so compassionate, who's so understanding, who's also so much in their power and doing such amazing things. Wow. What you are saying about them, they're saying about you. You start finding such mirrors because you have come into your soul, your radiance, your power. You're living from there. You're showing that, and people are seeing that and they're attracted to it. And all of a sudden, you start finding those matches, because the people who cannot handle that, they will leave. Either they will try to cancel you, but because you've now come into the new version of yourself, it doesn't work anymore. It worked for the old version who wanted to keep getting cancelled to remain in that old version. But those people who have tried to cancel you or do try to cancel you have zero effect on you now, because you are in your radiance. And eventually they will give up and they will leave, because they do not have the kind of life energy that's running through you. They're feeding off of darkness, and they'll find other victims. It's easier for them to go to other people and bother them, or they will be inspired by you and they will transform. Whatever it is, the more you tune into your frequency, there's not some ultimate frequency that's universally for everyone. There's a you frequency, there's an I frequency. When you tune into that specific unique frequency, which is that perfect mixture of all the universal divine frequencies that makes you you. When you tune into that, you start connecting with people who have those different frequencies, not exactly like you, but you connect with them through that. And it's because you're radiating that you connect with them. If you do not show the real you, how will people find the real you? You want the perfect partner, but you're not willing to show yourself. You're not willing to be that perfect partner who will also be seen. The only way to meet real people is to be that real person, that magical person, that magnetic person, that powerful person, that loving person. And this is what I teach people. By embodying it, by radiating that, by teaching people how to come into that, into the version of you, into your frequency, into your I frequency. And it's the most exciting thing to see people suddenly come into that magic, that magnetism, that radiance, to be just shining from going all droopy, lifeless, depressed, sad, unfulfilled, in fear, scarcity, guilt. All of a sudden it clicks, and boom, the transformation takes place, and then magic takes place, because that person has so much power, has so much magic to give to this world, and they start acting on it. You start acting on it, and life really becomes magical. And what's more fulfilling than just being surrounded by people who are creating magic in the world, sharing their stories with you, like, wow, look, this happened, this happened, this happened. It's like, wow. And yes, I know, like, so much magic has happened in my life. People like, I cannot believe it. Like, I cannot believe it, and I can, because I keep seeing it. There is a universal law at play here. It's something that everyone can experience when they're tuned to their soul. When they are in total alignment, everyone experiences that magic. It's simply a matter of coming into your alignment. And there are people who can help you do that. I, for sure, can help you do that. I know that this is the gift I've been given. It's my magic, and I'm super grateful and honored and privileged to have this gift. If you feel aligned with my energy, I am super excited to work with you. And if you don't, I am very excited that you found this to find the right person for you. Because there is your guide, your mentor. Somehow or the other, they will present themselves and activate you when you say, okay, I'm ready, I want this. Yes, I want this. I'm so damn excited. I cannot wait to have everything that this guy is describing. Yes, I want this. Your guide will appear, your mentor will appear. If you do not feel resonance with me, reach out to me and I will refer other people to you. I know several amazing, powerful people, some of whom I have activated, some of whom I've come into contact with in my network. I love those people and I'll be super happy to connect you to them. Whoever it is, my intention is for more and more people to come into magic. That is my soul's purpose, is to bring that new paradigm of abundance and harmony to this world. And that's only going to happen when more and more people are in their magnetism, in their radiance, offering their magic and their gifts and their power and their love to the world. So it doesn't have to be only through me. That's one more thing we all need to break out of. It's not just me, and I have to get all the clients and as many clients. It's like, no, it's about growing that network. It's about creating that network. And when you come into that frequency, again, you start finding collaborators. You start finding people who want to help you, who also start referring you. This is evolved, mature, energetic. When it's not this scarcity, insecurity, competition. It's true collaboration. It's true brotherhood, sisterhood, siblings, connections, soul families. This is what you start finding. Just the other day, I was having a call with my soul family, and one of them mentioned, people keep talking about manifesting so much money and so much impact and clients and this and that and that and that and that. But truly, like, one of the most powerful things that we have manifested is this soul family. And we were all like, oh, damn, yeah, like, that is incredible. Like, to find such powerful people, be connected to them, and be able to support each other all the time, anytime. To receive that love, to receive that encouragement, that inspiration. Wow, this person is doing this amazing thing. This person is doing this amazing thing. Automatically, you are in your fire. You are doing your amazing thing. You are inspiring them. Like, that upward spiral that creates, that is an incredibly powerful manifestation. And that is also something I help people find by creating group experiences, connecting people deeply and intimately with each other. Just today, I received an email from a group which I created 4 years back. It was my first group. And that group lasted for 2.5 years. And the connections that were made in that group was so powerful and so intimate that even after I ended the group, even without me, now they are still connected to each other. They're still helping each other out in whatever ways, talking to each other, supporting each other whenever the opportunity presents itself. They know that that bond exists and they can always reach out to each other. This is the power that is available to be activated for each person, to find your soul family, to find your partner, to find everything that you have been looking for is there when you are in your soul alignment, in your radiance. come activate that, or go activate that wherever is right for you. This is the end of this transmission today. It's been super fun and exciting to go with this experiment. It's my first one, and I'm very excited to do more of these. So if you have enjoyed it, please give it a like. Please drop a comment with a few lines with whatever may have awakened in you, whatever insights you may have had. Even just a line would be great. It would help to reach more people. Share it with other people if you feel inspired. If you're listening to the podcast, give it 5 stars. That will also help a lot. And if you are inspired to connect and work with me, go check out my links. I am super excited to reach more and more people, work with more people. Over the past decade, I've worked with over 1,000 people and had a deep impact on them. I've received a lot of feedback that each person would share how much this work has helped them. And over the years, it's just grown more and more and more. In the last few weeks, one of the biggest downloads that came from me was my mission. My soul's mission is to have exponential impact and add 1 0 for each decade. So the first decade of my work impacted 1,000 people. This decade, I intend to deeply impact 10,000 people or more. And that number keeps growing with a 0 each decade forward. So if this is reaching you now and you are excited to work together, I'm super excited to work with you. I have several different options to work with me. I have free offers, I have paid offers, I have group coaching, I have one-on-one, I have live trainings, I've got free masterclasses. All of it is there. Connect with me and I will be super happy to share different ways. I have links in my bios and profiles all over. You can also go check them out. It's been great doing this, and I look forward to the next one, and I hope you look forward to the same. Check it out. Check out my links, and see you next time.